welcome back to the next week of The More You Know. My name is Emily Liddell and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I work in the office of the Dean of the Ingram Commons. We have some really incredible guests here this week all talking about just your health and how to have a really well and balanced first year. So first, I would love to have our panelists each introduce yourselves, your names, your pronouns, your role in your office, and then a place in Nashville you feel students have to check out when they get here. So we'll start with you.
Dang, I thought you were start down there.
Oh, dang. And we can. Next question. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm Dr. Laura Burkhardt. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am at the Student Health Center here at Vanderbilt. And I think my role in there, I'm a physician. I'm one of the medical providers that you would see if you came to student health. And a place in Nashville that you should check out. I love the outdoors, so I'll probably say Percy Winter Park is beautiful, although right now it's very hot. So bring lots of water.
Awesome.
Hi everyone, I'm Courtney Williams. I am a licensed psychologist at the University Counseling Center and an outreach coordinator. So I think that one of the places that you should visit is Assembly Food Hall.
It's so good.
Many choices. I feel like you can do your own makeshift food crawl.
It's so true. Anything you want, and if you have like a group where everybody wants something different,
yes, perfect.
Easy. Yes, I love it.
Hi, I'm Catherine Drodas-Cuthbert, and I'm with the Center for Student Wellbeing. I'm the Assistant Director for Alcohol and Other Drug Education and Support Services. And both things, hiking, I love Edwin Warner Park, and Slim and Huskies, you gotta go there, best pizza.
It is so good. And cinnamon rolls.
Oh, true.
Their cinnamon rolls are
Yes,
so
and they just
good.
got a new cinnamon roll.
Oh,
I think it's like a strawberry shortcake.
I
And
will
she,
be.
her, hers. I don't know if I said my pronouns.
Awesome.
And mine are she, her, and hers.
Perfect. We appreciate that.
Howdy everybody, my name is Otis McGresham. I am the Assistant Director for Prevention over the Project Safe Center. I use the pronouns he, him, and his. Project Safe is your go-to office for all things sexual misconduct prevention, education, and advocacy. So that is kind of the role that we play on campus. If you're getting off campus and you need some place to just go and be, because it is hot outside, I would highly suggest the Gaylord Opryland. Wonderful during the holiday season in terms of decorations, in terms of events. Just being inside in air conditioning and walking around and seeing the shops and people watching is amazing.
And the rivers they have in there, it's very cool. It's like its own little city.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
And they have a water park now, too.
Well,
I love it. Oh my goodness, this is so fun. Well, thank you all for taking time out of your busy days to be here. You've already kind of started, so actually we will start with you and then we'll go this way because you kind of already started the question. So describe your office, what your team does, and why I as a first year or even, any year student would come and see you.
yeah, so our office is pretty spectacular. Like, as a Vandy student, you are very fortunate to go here at an institution that is resource rich enough to have a Project Safe. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full-time staff, 1 graduate assistant, and several interns in our office to keep our office working. It's really a twofold mission. So victim advocacy, or how do we support people who've been impacted by sexual violence, is part of what we do. So that's going to be our one-on-one conversations with students, staff, faculty, postdocs, anyone Vanderbilt affiliated. That's going to be our conversations that we have in supporting individuals who have experienced harm themselves or supporting somebody else who's experienced harm. That advocacy piece is going to help them kind of put language to their experience and then identify resources or ways that they want to respond to that experience. The other half of our job is that prevention education. So how do we create a community that is supportive? How do we create a community that's going to push back on harmful behavior? So things like understanding effective consent, things like understanding how to have conversations that push back on misogyny and sexism and racism, those types of things. That healthy sexuality piece is really what we're trying to promote. So that prevention education piece is something that everybody can hopefully connect with. And then that victim advocacy piece is something that we're glad we're here to offer, even though we hope you never need it.
And the Center for Student Wellbeing, we offer a variety of different services to really help support students, especially as they transition to campus. It can be a really fun but also challenging time. And so we offer a variety of different workshops. We have workshops for kind of getting it together at the beginning of the semester, so how to get organized, how to really look at all your different activities and figure out what it is that you need to do in order to stay on top of them. We also have financial well-being workshops as well. We do individual coaching on a variety of different well-being topics, including alcohol and other drug misuse prevention, or if somebody's just looking to meet with somebody one-on-one and talk about how to feel more connected on campus. We know that a sense of belonging is such an important piece of being part of campus. We also have Vanderbilt Recovery Support, which is our collegiate recovery program for students who are either actively in recovery from substance use disorder or just in the contemplative stage of their own patterns of use. So we offer a variety of different services. Students can also come to us for different alcohol and cannabis use assessments. But again, we also have meditation. We have, we partner with the Black Cultural Center for yoga every Thursday, so that's a really wonderful offering. So a lot of ways to kind of figure out how to manage stress and to feel like you're part of the community.
Wow, I love that.
So many things. And to add to that, so I'll talk a little bit about just the Student Care Network in general. So oftentimes the first point of entry is going to be through the Office of Student Care Coordination. And the Office of Student Care Coordination is an office that coordinates care, hence the name, for students at Vandy. So say you are feeling distressed or adjusting to life at Vandy and you're wanting to know what the resources are, the Student Care Coordination Office is going to be the hub that coordinates you and lets you know what we have to offer in terms of wellness services. So again, that's typically the first point of contact to either the CSW, Project SAFE, or maybe the University Counseling Center or the Student Health Center. So I'll talk a little bit about the student health, or not about the student health center. Sorry. I'm not student health. So at the University Counseling Center, we have a variety of different services. We have individual counseling, we have group counseling. We have one of our newer services called drop-in consultation. And so drop-in consultation, I liken it to office hours that you would go to for a professor, but instead of a professor, you'd be meeting with a mental health professional. And so you can make an appointment up to 30 minutes before whatever the desired appointment time would be, and you could meet with any of our 30 plus staff over at the UCC for a 20 to 30 minute consultation. Maybe you're not sure what counseling looks like at the University Counseling Center, maybe you're not sure if counseling is right for you, or maybe you're just wanting more information about what our services are. Those are all great questions and topics to consider for a drop-in consultation. We also have medication management services at the counseling center. So if you are interested in transferring your care to maybe a home provider to the counseling center, that's a good way to stay connected and continuity of care that way. What else do we do? We also have ADHD and learning disability assessments as well. And we offer workshops and groups, identity focused as well. The list goes on and on and on. Something else that I want to mention too is through the Student Care Network, we have a host of self-directed tools, like your Headspace, for example. Being a Vandy student, you have a free subscription to Headspace, correct? And I think that's a great resource too. I could go on and on, but I'll pause there.
All right. So at the Student Health Center, so just like it sounds, we are basically your need for anything during your healthcare while you're here at Vanderbilt. So we have physicians and nurse practitioners on staff. Most of the time when first years are coming to see us, it's probably because they aren't feeling well. And that's totally fine. We're happy to see you're not feeling well. We have a walk-in clinic. We have providers who are happy to take care of you. I would say come see us sooner. It's always good to come check us out. That way, if you aren't feeling well, you know exactly where to go and how to get there. But also, we do a whole range of other services besides taking care of you when you're sick. So this could mean you haven't had a physical in a while. You want to make sure you're up to date on your immunizations. You want to get checked out. You want to talk about birth control, STD testing. You're concerned about other symptoms that you're having. We're happy to see you for all of those things as well. Always good to also have a point person at Student Health during your time here. That way, if you have questions, you can contact them. We're part of the medical center, which means we have access to medical center services as well. We use the portal and the messaging center there as well, called My Health at Vanderbilt. So that's my plug for that, because that's such an important app and platform to be able to contact your provider. So I would really say come see us if you just want to get established care, have somebody here. A lot of our students are also coming with other medical conditions that they were diagnosed before they came here to school. And we were happy to help coordinate that with you if you need to see specialists, if you just aren't sure of your health care, what's good for you, what's right for you right now. We're happy to see you for kind of all of that as well. In addition, at Student Health, we do have nutritionists on staff as well as sports medicine providers on staff. Hopefully you won't ever need them, but if you need them, they're definitely there for you. We have a lab on site, so if at any point during your time here you need to have your blood drawn, again, maybe you won't. We have treatment rooms for other things if you end up needing like a nebulizer treatment, IV fluids, anything like that. We're here to kind of help take care of you. And if we can't, then we'll get you to the right place as well.
Awesome. And that's such a cool resource that we have here at Vanderbilt. I mean, all of your resources, really. So I'm going to throw a little curveball. One of the questions I always ask is the best piece of advice or a piece of advice for students. I'm going to save that question for the end because we do have some like not as fun questions or harder questions, I should say. So I'd love for that to kind of be that little light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to jump right in. So I've been seeing a counselor at home, like let's say that's the situation. How can I find a new counselor now that I'm here at Vanderbilt? And if I'm taking any sort of medication for mental or for physical, like any of those type of things, how can I make sure that I get that continued care at Vanderbilt?
So the student care coordination is really the great first point person. So for first point office. So filling out an intake form, students can fill out the intake form online, get the information there, set up an appointment. They can get you scheduled to a counselor either on or off campus, depending on what your needs are. But I'll let you take it from there. But I just really wanted to point out that the nice thing about that is the intake form is online, easy and accessible.
Yes, so to add to that, I'm going to take us a few steps back. If you have a home provider, first I want you to talk to them first to see, are you going to pause your services with your home provider before starting care at the counseling center, for example. And once you've decided, say you decide to pause your care at home and you want to start with someone here on campus, then go through the Office of Student Care Coordination to start care with the counseling center.
Cool. And then so if I have, prescriptions or anything like that, would that be through?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have prescriptions that your home doctor maybe was filling, oftentimes people will choose to keep their home doctor if they're able to, and we are happy to work in line with your home doctor, meaning that if you're here, we'll see you while you're here. If you're home, your doctor can see you there, and we can just have communication back and forth between the two. But if you want us to take over your care or you just need help with us taking that prescription, schedule an appointment with us, either calling us, and our front desk staff is happy to get a hold of you and help you, or that might help at Vanderbilt, you can actually schedule with us online, and that's how you can establish with your provider. And any prescriptions that you might have had at home, if we're able to fill them at Student Health, we absolutely will. Say it takes a specialist prescription and you no longer can see your home specialist, we can get you to the specialist here at Vanderbilt that can help you with that prescription as well.
Awesome. So it's really a person by person, so really kind of just get the information.
Right, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so what resources would you all recommend for first year students to check out as they start their career at Vanderbilt so they can establish and maintain a sustainable, that's a keyword, healthy lifestyle? So what resources would you recommend that they kind of take advantage of to really find that balance?
I think the rec center is a great place to start. I always talk about like sweating out your stress. They have great group classes as well. The Center for Student Wellbeing, we offer a lot of different mindfulness practices. So whether that's through meditation or through yoga, we also have our workshops as well as coaching, which can be a nice kind of way to sustain those healthy habits that you're looking to have.
Yeah, awesome. And I would say because with Project Safe, there is that, that urgency in the victim piece, but as far as the advocacy piece, like that's something you can do to help maintain a healthy environment. And like, do y'all have trainings and different things like that to help students?
You can check out AnchorLink, which is really going to be where all of our trainings and presentations are loaded up to.
Okay.
So you can really create your own curriculum to figure out, I want to learn what it means to be an active bystander. I want to learn what it means to support a survivor, or what it means to have conversations around consent, or to talk about my sexuality. AnchorLink's going to have all of that information. In addition, I would say look to the students around you. So you're living on the Commons, you're going to have staff there. So you're going to have RAs, you're going to have people who are running your house, you're going to have a view scepter, you're going to have lots of people who have been in Vanderbilt for a while whose entire function in that role is to help you transition and to help you be successful. So if you have a question, be like, hey, what does this look like? Or how did you feel comfortable? Or how did you adjust? What did they do? What resources did they tie into? And then how can you connect to those resources in the same way?
That's a great point. And thank you for, what's up? Oh, sorry friends, that's the joy of live recording. So So that is so good, and thank you for pointing out AnchorLink, because that's something that I often forget to look at. Okay, so
I want to add one
Yeah.
more thing. So, groups and workshops at the Counseling Center also. We have identity-based groups and workshops too. And again, I'm going to keep highlighting the self-directed tools. So if you go to vanderbilt.edu and you Google Student Care Network, there's information on that page for self-directed tools. So that's going to be a lot of apps and just mood tracking devices, just different things that you can have for yourself.
that's incredible. Wow. So are all of the services y'all's offices offer, are they free? Do students need to pay? Is it a, yes and, like different ones? How would y'all recommend students if they're asking that? Like, I don't know if I can come utilize these because I don't know if I can pay for it,
I'm going to say yes and. So a majority of our services are free at the Counseling Center with the exception of the medication management piece. So you're going to meet with the med provider, for example, to initiate your care in that regard, and then the medication that's prescribed will come at a cost. But what I will say is that our med providers do a really good job at finding you low-cost medications. So they have different apps and coupons and things like that to help to make sure that the medication is cost-efficient.
Cool.
No additional charges.
Yeah, product safe events, advocacy, everything we do is welcome to anybody in the Vanderbilt community, free of charge. So student, staff, faculty, postdoc, graduate student, if you're Vanderbilt affiliated, all of our stuff is available to you.
Same with the Center for Student Wellbeing.
Cool.
Student health centers, to see a medical provider, there's free of charge, and most of the services are also going to be free as well. And I also like to clarify that regardless of your insurance, we can see you at student health. So if you have student insurance, if you have private insurance, it does not matter to see a student health provider. We don't bill your insurance for that visit, so come see us. We're happy to see you as well. A lot of the coverage for a lot of the labs that we might do, some of the medications, a lot of the labs will be free of charge, but there might be an additional cost if you have certain lab work done, or you get certain medications through student health. And then if you see a specialist kind of outside of the student health center, that can either be billed to your insurance, and that'll be whatever your insurance ends up paying, or, and your provider that you see at student health should be able to go through that for you. So if you do have a charge, or you will have a charge at the end of the visit, they'll go through that with you before you check out. That way you know exactly how much it'll be.
Okay, great. So no surprises. You'll know.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so y'all kind of touched on this, but what should I do if I think my roommate or my friend needs help or is struggling? So it's not me, it's my roommate. What do y'all recommend?
I think just being really open, having an open, honest conversation with your roommate, using a lot of I language, so it's not you did this, you did that. It's more I've noticed this. This is something I really care about you. I'm concerned. This is something I'm seeing. And then walking your friend, walking your roommate to services. So whether it's, walking, your roommate to Project Safe or to the Counseling Center or to the Center for Student Wellbeing. There's also no wrong place, or to the Student Health Center. There's no wrong place to go because we will get you connected to the right place. So I always say that just start somewhere, and that's a really great way. And even if if a student is looking to go to either a group meeting or I speak directly for Vanderbilt Recovery Support, you can go with your roommate to those meetings. They are open, so that's another way to just be a support where it can be kind of intimidating to do that for the first time.
That's incredible. And is there a form you can fill out if you're, I couldn't remember, but I didn't know if one of y'all could talk about that.
Yeah, we can. So I think that there's different levels on how we can help a friend in need. So the Student of Concern report, which you mentioned, is something that you can go online and complete, and it can be either anonymous or you can include your name, and that always routes to us at the Student Care Network, I think OSCC, and I know the Counseling Center receives them as well. Something also that I'm thinking is telling an RA, right? Like if you have a friend in need, the RA may have a laundry list of different resources to get your friend connected, and also you can share those resources with your friend too. After watching this live, you're gonna have
so many things to say
about resources. And my recommendation also is to ask your friend how they need or want support from you, because sometimes we assume that we know or offer help in the way that we think it should be, but sometimes the first question is, how can I support you?
That's a great question. A good reminder for all of us, honestly.
Absolutely.
Wow, thank you all. Okay, final question, kind of little happiness at the end. Piece of advice you have for students as they're getting ready to come very soon. We are in August, so what is a piece of advice you all have for having a really successful, fun, enjoyable first year?
I think just one is going to go by so quickly. It's not going to feel like it sometimes in the moment, but I feel like I see people when they start and all of a sudden they're done, and it just seems to fly by sometimes. So make sure at the beginning you take care of yourself and then through all of it, because I think one, mental health is so important. We talked a lot about that. Your physical health is really important. Please sleep. If you remember anything, please sleep. It's so important because that just sets you up for so many things. Take care of yourself. Make sure you're doing things that move your body in a healthy way and eating. Don't forget to eat. And so there's lots of resources here. So I think that's the most important thing. When you first start off, things are going to get crazy so quickly. Make sure you set up kind of healthy things to do at the beginning.
Absolutely.
Something that I want to add is to maximize and diversify your utilization of the resources here. There are so many here, so try as many as you can, right? Because there's so many free offerings here at the counseling, not at the counseling center, but just at Vandy in general. And so I think that sometimes because we're such a resourced university, it can feel overwhelming, or folks don't use as many of the resources that you have access to, but they're free.
Yeah.
Try them all. Try a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere, because when you get out in the real world, they're not free.
Yeah.
They're not going to be free, trust me, I know. And also, just remind yourself that you belong here, right? I think that that's something that often is called into question, that students doubt, but just remember that you do belong here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And to go along with that too, just find your people. It doesn't need to be a whole massive group of people, but finding one or two people that you really feel like you connect with, you can be yourself around, is really important, because it makes the rest of campus life feel a little easier.
Yeah. And with the you belong here piece, expect it to be hard. Vanderbilt is not easy. It's not a cakewalk. Expect it to be challenging. Expect it to be something different than you've experienced, and embrace that challenge. Like, you belong here and you were admitted to Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt thinks that you can rise to the occasion. So do that. Use all of the resources that are available to you and be successful. Bringing you and your authentic you to our campus community is a part of what makes us a diverse campus, makes us a diverse community. So if you dim your shine, you are dimming the entire Vanderbilt community. So shine brightly. Be all of you all the time, and let us enjoy what you can bring to our community.
I want to add to that. I want to remind folks, you know more than you think you do. And you're not supposed to know everything, right? Hold that balance. Hold that balance.
Absolutely.
The whole time you're here.
Absolutely. I need you to come give these reminders to me. No, but this is incredible. Thank you all for taking time out of your super busy days. And thank you all for tuning in, both those who do live and later when we post the recording. But until the next time, this is Emily, and it's been The More of You Know. Hope you all have a good week. Bye.